Trevor Lawrence, the Jacksonville Jaguars starting quarterback, has suffered a significant setback after taking a concussion-inducing hit in the first half of their Week 13 loss to the Houston Texans. The hit occurred as Lawrence slid during a 6-yard scramble when linebacker Azeez Al-Shaair made forcible contact with Lawrence's head, knocking him out cold. The impact caused Lawrence to go into the fencing position, a classic sign of a brain injury, and he was immediately carted off the field. The aftermath of the hit was chaotic, with a brawl breaking out between players. Both Al-Shaair and Jaguars defensive back Jarron Jones were ejected from the game. Later, Al-Shaair was handed a 3-game suspension for his role in the hit. Following the injury, Lawrence took to social media to provide an update, reassuring fans that he was home and feeling better. However, during his post-game press conference, Jaguars head coach Doug Peterson didn't commit to Lawrence playing again this season. Peterson emphasized that the team would make a smart choice moving forward, and their standing would influence their decision. In addition to the concussion, Lawrence is dealing with a significant AC joint injury in his left, non-throwing shoulder. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Lawrence is expected to undergo surgery to repair the shoulder, which would end his season. The combination of the concussion and shoulder injury led the Jaguars to place Lawrence on injured reserve, IR, and he is expected to miss at least 4 weeks. This timeline would make Week 18 against the Indianapolis Colts the earliest possible return date for the 25-year-old quarterback. However, with Lawrence slated for shoulder surgery, it seems increasingly unlikely he will play again this season. The Jaguars are out of playoff contention, sitting at a 2-10 record, so the decision to shelve Lawrence for the remainder of the year makes sense. This move will allow the Jaguars to evaluate their quarterback depth while ensuring that Lawrence gets the time to recover fully and prepare for the 2025 NFL season. The Jaguars' decision to place Lawrence on IR speaks to the team's long-term focus. With the current season almost entirely out of reach, their attention will shift towards securing a top draft pick for the 2024 NFL Draft and giving their backup quarterbacks the chance to prove their worth. Speaking of backup quarterbacks, with Lawrence sidelined, Mac Jones will step in as the Jaguars' starting QB for the foreseeable future. Jones, who was acquired as a backup earlier in the season, performed admirably in his 2 previous starts for Jacksonville. In their Week 13 loss to the Texans, Jones completed 32 passes for 235 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Despite the loss, Jones' performance showed he could step in and manage the game when needed. Jones, a former first-round pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, was initially selected by the New England Patriots. Over his career, he has compiled an 18-26 record as a starter, with 9,430 yards, 48 touchdowns, and 39 interceptions. While his record may not be stellar, Jones has shown flashes of competence, especially in his 2 starts for the Jaguars this season. With Jones stepping in for Lawrence, the Jaguars will have the opportunity to evaluate whether he could be a viable backup option for the team moving forward. Given that Jones is set to become a free agent after this season, the next few games could play a crucial role in determining whether Jacksonville will look to retain him or pursue another quarterback to back up their star signal caller. Looking at the rest of the Jaguars' quarterback depth chart, the team has 2 more quarterbacks, C.J. Beathard and John Wolford. Beathard, a 3rd-round pick by the San Francisco 49ers in 2017, has a career record of 3-10 with 3,886 yards, 19 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. He has experience starting games in the NFL and could be an option for the Jaguars if needed. Beathard is a seasoned veteran who could provide some stability if Jones falters. John Wolford, the 3rd quarterback on the Jaguars roster, has had a less distinguished career. The 29-year-old signed as an undrafted free agent with the New York Jets in 2018 and later spent time with the Los Angeles Rams. Wolford is 2-2 in 4 career starts, with 626 yards, 1 touchdown, and 5 interceptions. While Wolford has limited starting experience, the Jaguars could use him if Jones and Beathard fail to provide sufficient production in the remaining games. With Lawrence's season almost certainly over, the Jaguars' focus will shift toward evaluating their quarterback depth and preparing for the future. With a 2-10 record, the Jaguars are likely to use the remaining weeks to assess whether they need to move for a more established backup quarterback in the offseason or stick with the players currently on the roster. While the news is disappointing for the franchise, Lawrence should prioritize his long-term health over playing in a meaningless final stretch of the season. Surgery to repair his shoulder and time to recover from the concussion will ensure that Lawrence is fully ready to lead the Jaguars in 2025. In conclusion, with Lawrence now on IR, the Jaguars are moving forward with Mac Jones under center. The team will look to evaluate its quarterback options, and Jones' extended starting opportunity could ultimately influence Jacksonville's decision for next season. Meanwhile, Lawrence will have the time to recover and return to 100% for the 2025 NFL campaign.